Hey, everybody, it's Eddie Pepitone, and welcome to the bunker, live from the bunker. Wow, we've got a lot to talk about, but here's my theme song. Eddie Pepitone, live from the bunker. Hey, everybody, it's not going well. Now people I know are getting sick. People I know. It's one thing when you read about people getting sick and you're like, oh, good, I don't know them. But now people I know, not cool. Not cool. We'll talk about it. What a theme song that is, huh? Also, I want to show you, Basil is feeling, my dog Basil is feeling a little, here he is. Hey, Beth. Say hello to everybody. Yeah. Basil, I got Basil as a guard dog. You know, when I heard that society was unraveling, everybody was lining up for guns. And I got Basil for a guard dog. He may be too small, though, for that. I'm not sure. See you, Baz. I got the podcast to do. I love you, buddy. And right here, I have my cat, Katie, who keeps crying. All right, we got a lot of stuff to get to. Our guest today is going to be Ahmed Weinberg. And Ahmed, a really funny comedian, he got the virus and he recovered, though. And we're going to talk to him about what that was like. So there are now 160,000 cases in the U.S., and it keeps growing. And you know what I saw today on CNN too is that Dr. Fauci, the CDC guy, says, "Oh yeah, and it might come back in the fall, the virus, when seasonally." So no, that can't be right. I mean, that would be insane if we finally, get through this. Like, let's say June, and then September we get hit again. I don't think any of us would be able to deal with it financially, would deal with it mentally, So get ready for the horror, everybody. Did you hear the fucking, it's unbelievable to me that people are still congregating, even though it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be unbelievable. It shouldn't be unbelievable because, I don't know, people, I don't know. Look, we've destroyed the fabric of society. Not we, but, the oligarchs, the powers that be have destroyed the fabric of society, right? There's no more community. Right now, doctors, and rightfully so, doctors and nurses are being hailed as heroes. But what about the assholes? Let's expose all these assholes in Brentwood, California. Brentwood in Southern California, if you know it, it's just a rich fuck. It's a rich fuck playground. Brentwood. UCLA is there, so that's kind of cool, And I say that because it's, any place that has learning, is kind of cool. I'm sure they're bought and paid for, they've got tons of money. Colleges are such money whores, and the academics are usually bought and paid for by corporate research and development. But anyway, in Brentwood yesterday, they still have their farmers market open. And there was a picture that someone shared of just all these fucking assholes just shoulder to shoulder. And it triggered a dream in me. I dreamt last night, and this isn't to brag, that I still have a vivid dream life. It isn't to brag that I'm still dreaming like a motherfucker. Anyway, I dreamt that I went to a hockey game in New York, in Madison Square Garden, and I'm sitting around. It's a crowded game. It was a big game, playoff implications, or it was in the playoffs. And I'm sitting there, and then it fucking dawns on me that, what am I doing here? The virus is happening. I shouldn't have came here. What the fuck was I thinking? And why are all these people here? So I think that was a premonition. I have a lot of premonitions, and I think that was a premonition that my wife was talking about this, that we're gonna start to just get back to doing things normal too quickly. It's going to happen too quickly. Like, people are going to think normality is going to return, and it shouldn't, like, I am never going to shake anybody's hand again. The only way I'm acknowledging people until I am dead is just a little like that. Like, how you doing? How you doing? Just like that. How you doing, folks? How you doing? And I'm going to stay 6 feet away from people for as long as I live. What else do we have? John Prine. It's okay when some country music people die of this thing, but John Prine, who I love, if you guys know John Prine, he's awesome. He's awesome. By the way, we want questions for Ahmed and me. Ahmed went through the virus. John Prine did not die. He was in critical condition yesterday. His wife says he's stable today. Thank God. So a little good news. Domestic abuse calls. Now, this is fucked up. Domestic abuse calls have gone up because victims are forced to be inside with their abusers. That is very, very fucked up. And that's one of the horrible consequences of this. First of all, domestic abuse is just so fucked up. I wish I had a bigger vocabulary. It's just so evil, and you really have to get along. I mean, God, and part of domestic abuse again is I wanna like, again, string it back to corporate bullshit. People need good jobs. People need good jobs. I live with my father now. I'm kidding. If I did live with my father, I would be definitely domestically abused. My dad would be like, "Hey, genius, where's the remote, genius?" You ever get that from your foot? Like that kind of thing. "Hey, genius, am I supposed to turn off the light? Did you leave me that nice little task?" Protesters in LA are calling for a rent freeze. Now, to me, that's a no-brainer. Hey, Ahmad, if you're there, you have to request to come on. So, Weinberg, I know you went through the virus, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse not to request and be late. So, request to come on. So anyway, protesters in LA are demanding a rent freeze. Freeze on a rent. Of course there should be freeze on a rent. The banks, I don't know if you follow this, but the banks, the big financial institutions in this country were just given another boondoggle, another fucking boondoggle. I swear to God, when this thing is over, we need to all get out in the streets, because what's really going on, they said it was $2 trillion. It's really $6 trillion to $10 trillion. And we, the little guy, has to pay rent while not working. Are you fucking kidding me? And the landlords are like, well, we have mortgages to pay. Let me get Ahmad on here. I think he's requested. Yes, he has. Ahmad went through what he's got to say about it. But these landlords, we have to pay our mortgage. Well, the banks should give you, hey, Ahmad.
Hi, Eddie.
You look great. What do you mean you had this?
You look like
I hope this. I know.
Yeah, I'm fully better, so I don't feel any symptoms anymore, and I'm just like back to health, besides being stuck in this awful apartment.
You don't like your living space? Are you having to pay rent still?
Well, I was just thinking about it today. I think I'm going to put a pause on my rent system, like the automatic payment, because it's like, I might as well not. They can't do anything. My landlord's being a prick because they're renovating the apartment above me. Like, it's still happening. And when I was sick, I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm like fucked up and laying in bed, and this is awful for me, because it sounds like there's like jackhammers in my room.
They're still doing that now?
They postponed he held it off for a week, and then they started up again 2 weeks ago, and it's been nonstop. And I've been emailing them and just like, hey, you're basically forcing me to leave my apartment, and they're just not gonna, they just want to like make money. So they're just gonna continue renovating it, which.
Where are you? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Where are you in LA? What part of?
I'm in Los Feliz.
I love Los Feliz.
It's gorgeous. It's actually so, I've been, walking around just touching things and trying to cough on people. It's just beautiful.
Ahmed, is that how you pronounce Ahmed? I fucked up. I'm sorry. Ahmed. What did I call you?
That's okay.
I'm white. Anyway,
me too.
Anyway, what happened? How did you, I didn't know you had this thing. Did you keep it a secret until recently, or?
Well, I didn't know I had it either. That was the craziest part.
How did you get tested? Why did you get tested, or?
Well, I initially got sick on the 8th. So I've been sick for a while, and I had a fever and a cough, and I was.
Oh, you had it all, huh?
Yeah.
Was it nasty?
My fever got to like 103, which is really dangerous.
Wow. Did you hallucinate?
Yeah, but that was LSD mostly.
You see, folks, this is why I have comics on, for tremendous punchlines like that.
Why are your headphones so big? It's like
I know, right? Check this out. This is really funny. I bought the new fucking, like every idiot, I bought the new earbuds, right? The little white earbuds, for my iPhone, $200. I lost them, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to spend another 200. So these I've had for a while. They're, they work fine. So fuck it.
You look like Princess Leia, kind of.
Don't put that in my head. I listened to Carrie Fisher's book. You're what? Did you say?
I'm very horny, so I'm just.
People are talking about that being quarantined. They're very frisky.
Well, people that are single are going through it, because if you're there with somebody, you've got
You've got a source of pleasure. You've got a source of pleasure. Yeah. You've got an object. You've got an object to.
I get horny and it just pisses me off. I'm like, I don't want to feel that right now. It's not helpful.
Well, whatever you resist persists. So let that be. Allow it. Do you know what Buddhism is about, right?
Yeah, life is fucked, basically. Right?
That's why I'm drawn to it.
Yeah.
But now tell me, so you had the cough, you had the fever, and then you got tested? What happened?
So, yeah, the whole time I was sick, I was emailing my doctor about it and telling him what was going on. And even though I had all the stuff, they were like, well, you don't have a dry cough, so you're probably fine. You
see, the doctors, I hate when they, Miss Charlotte, stop, don't bark. I'm on the phone with Ahmed. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like, oh, your dog hates Muslims, huh?
Yeah, my dog watches mainstream shit.
But yeah, my doctors, I spoke to 3 doctors, and they were all like, doesn't sound like you have it.
You see, Well, that's the problem with our healthcare system, right? Because I think, anyway, I mean, I don't know, you could have gone and seen them and gotten tested.
Yeah.
But
well,
the test,
they didn't want me to come in. I don't think they had tests. This was like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm saying any test, SATs, like just get tested somehow. Yeah. You know, a wine test. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is a terse Chardonnay.
Yeah. Take the bar exam if you can.
The bar test. Yeah. So, but go ahead. Oh, terrific little adjustment. So go ahead. What happened?
So I finally, when my fever was 103.
Wow.
I told them, and they were like, "Oh, you should come in. Make sure it's not pneumonia."
Right. Hey, by the way, audience, if you have any questions for Ahmed about his Corona experience, please let me know. Okay. There's a question box or some shit. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Oh yeah, I can read.
No, go ahead. So you had 103 fever. They were worried about pneumonia?
Yeah, so then I go in and get an x-ray on my chest, and they call me and they're like, "You have pneumonia. We found pneumonia." Which
Whoa.
I've never had. Never.
I had it. I had it once, and it was brutal. The worst thing pneumonia did to me, I had it in Colorado, not to brag, but I felt so fatigued, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh God, like a heaviness to my body. It was matching the heaviness in my mind. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. But go ahead.
I know. God, Eddie, you're the perfect comedian for this. This is just your, like, there's a few. There's you and Tim Dillon and like that.
Tim Dillon, yeah.
Pandemic Tim is Dillon. Like your brand. It's always been your brand. And now it's happening. Yeah. It's your moment.
You know what would be really fucked up if I get it and die? If I get it and die just when I'm going to get launched at the age of 61, you know what I mean? Like, you know, as soon as I'm over this, they're going to ask me to host game shows and all kinds of shit, you know?
Oh yeah.
I think someone has a question. What can we do if we or a loved one contracts corona or pneumonia? That's for you. What can we do if a loved one contracts this?
I mean, if you believe in God, that's about as far as it goes. I don't think there's anything.
That's not a hopeful message. That's not a hopeful message.
Dude, I don't know what to do except for like. Yeah.
Were you alone going through this? Do you have a roommate? Do you have your girlfriend with you? What do you have? Are you married?
I just live alone.
You just live alone?
No. I'm being punished for not finding my soulmate. That's what this feels like. I'm alone. I've literally been in my apartment, besides going on hikes and walks, like for 4 weeks 3 weeks. 3 weeks and a day now. I've been quarantined, which is
when can you get out of quarantine?
Well, I talked to my doctor because I got tested last Wednesday, and he was like, "You should wait another 14 days since the test, and then you can go out." But I don't even trust that. I really don't. Because if I had listened to my doctors,
I know,
I would have gone out and given people this thing. They were telling me to go out.
Somebody asked, "What meds or treatment did they give you once you had this?"
Yeah. So after I found out that I had pneumonia, they gave me antibiotics for that.
Right.
And
big horse pill antibiotics is what I got, like big antibiotics. I had to tie it to the top of my car. Like the antibiotics were so big that I had to put the pill bottle on top of my car, and they helped me lash it onto the car.
Yeah, like your Christmas.
Anyway, that's more Corona material. Do you think this will be good for your career? I mean, that you got it. Let's say no other comics get it, you know?
Oh, they're all getting it for sure.
Probably. But what treatments will you get?
So the antibiotics within 4 days, like, cleared me up. Basically, my fever was gone. I was good again. I was exercising. It was kind of crazy. It was like, this actually
the antibiotics. Okay.
So then
you had a mild case.
I went back in for it. Well, yes, but it was more intense. Like it gave me pneumonia, which is like pretty bad, you know?
Mm.
But it gave me bacterial pneumonia because the antibiotics fixed it, you know?
Oh, fuck.
So because I went in and they were like, oh, the doctor who checked my lungs to like do a follow-up was like, oh, you're good. Like you don't have, your pneumonia is pretty much all cleared up. And he took off his mask like as a statement to be like, there's no way you don't have COVID.
What were the antibiotics? What were they? What were the antibiotics?
Let me look. I have it written somewhere.
Yeah, people want to know what antibiotic, helped you. So the doctor said, "Oh, you're good." He took off his mask. Yeah,
he just made like a whole thing about it. Like, you're good. I'm not worried. I'm taking off my mask. You don't have COVID. Blah blah blah. And I left. And then I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, so can I start hanging out with people again?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think, in like small circles, you'll be fine."
By the way, it sounds like you don't have a doctor, but somebody who faked you out. He's like a plumber who like convinced you he was a doctor.
Yeah, he's also my therapist. He's also my, I think Z-Pack. Z-Pack is what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Darth Marmalade, which is what Dana Gould calls Donald Trump, Darth Marmalade, has mentioned zithromycin.
Yeah, I mean, that got rid of my bacterial pneumonia, but I think I had COVID and then as a side effect had bacterial pneumonia.
Wow. So besides the pneumonia, any other symptoms? I mean, fever. Was it different than the flu or just like a bad flu?
I never had the flu, so it just felt like a bad fever. Like I hadn't had a fever that bad since I was like in like, middle school or something. It was just like,
wow,
a really, really intense fever. I was just like sweating profusely at night, waking up in like a pool of sweat, just FaceTiming my mom and like, like going through.
You went right to your mother.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I need mommy. Oh, yeah. My mother died, and my daddy's not that sympathetic to me. So I would have to just be like the Buddha.
Just talk to your dog.
Buddha. My dog. Yeah, just like the Buddha. But let's see. We have a couple of questions, Ahmad. How much was it costing you healthcare wise to treat your pneumonia?
Right now I have healthcare through the Writers Guild, so it was all.
Oh, hold it. This seems like you took the opportunity to promote yourself. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
that's so anyway, they have good healthcare, don't they? The Writers Guild.
I'm not in the guild, but somehow I qualified for a year of healthcare through them because of one job I worked. So luckily I have, but I also have covered California. So if I wasn't doing Writers Guild shit, I would go through that.
Right, and who knows what that would be?
Yeah, I have no idea. Those doctors just they seem like sliding scale doctors. Like I have no idea what the fuck.
Yeah.
Scary.
Every time I've gone to one of those doctors, they always slid a scale right in front of me. And I was like, look, I don't have portion control. I'm not playing your fucking game.
Yeah.
But so
yeah, let me
how long did it last?
Go
ahead.
Well, once the pneumonia cleared up, I thought I was good to go. And then the Wednesday of that week, my friend called me because she had a fever and was coughing, and she assumed that I had it because she just knew symptoms and stuff. She asked me for a ride to the ER. And I went to her place and picked her up. I wore gloves and a mask. She sat in the back, wore gloves and a mask. And
Did you pick her up because you felt?
Like,
did you pick her up because you felt guilty that you maybe gave it to her? Because I wouldn't have picked up a friend like that.
There was no way I could have given it to her. I hadn't seen her, in a while. So,
right.
But I drove her to the ER and sanitized my car and blah, blah, blah. And then she got tested for it. And because I had driven her, I continued to quarantine just in case perhaps she had it.
Did she have it?
And then it came back negative for her.
Right.
So.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I might have given it to her potentially. I don't know. Like, that's what's scary about it. Like,
someone suggested you might have had immunity by then because you had gone through it,
Well, I don't know how that works because
that's what I've heard, that if you get it, that, you're not going to get it again. I don't think. I don't think that's misinformation. If you get it, you basically are vaccinated.
Yeah, I've heard of people getting it twice, but I just don't. I don't trust anyone after my experience. I don't trust anything I hear.
Yeah, just stay away from my family. Someone wants to know, is this your biggest credit?
That's good. That's Gavin Matz. He's full of hatred, and I sincerely.
Is that who that was?
Yeah. He's from Canada, and he can't go back.
He's here in the U.S.
Yeah. If he was
welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah, baby.
What a good move for you to come down here and try to make it, and then get.
What's his name?
Gavin Matz. He's
Oh, I don't know him.
Yeah, nobody does.
Someone said, how many followers have you gained since getting COVID?
My manager's pissed because it's only been like 20.
Let's see. What activities have you been doing to keep you occupied during the quarantine? Someone asked. What do you do? Well, I just watch Netflix. I actually have been keeping busy with this Monday through Friday. I've been working out with someone online.
Wow. My doctor's a fitness instructor too, so I've been working out with him on his live yoga. I don't feel funny either. I've lost all of my ability to be funny.
That's wild. Is it because, maybe it's because you're still getting back your strength. Do you feel that you're still getting back your strength? Because to do comedy, everybody thinks, oh, I'm funny, I can do comedy. But as you know, you need so much energy to do comedy, right? I mean, to do it well, you've got to what comedy is, and this is, not to brag, is it's a release of tension. It's a release of all the shit that's accumulated in you. Like, you take in all this shit from the world and then you put it out. And if you're recovering, I think you have to kind of just be peaceful and let your body recover. Am I right?
Yeah, I feel I miss doing it, but I also am grateful. I'm grateful that I'm not missing out on any.
Right.
Normally, I'm like, I'm never booked. Like, fuck these clubs, fuck these.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's like, I don't even have to think that way. I'm like, this is just, nobody can do it right now. It's like,
true.
This is the only time in my life I won't feel guilty about not doing it. And it's really nice.
I know. That's a great point, because even when I've had a cold before, like a cold feeling like shit, I always felt like I had to go in and do my set, which is insane, because as soon as I would call in sick to like the Comedy Store or whatever, or the Improv, all the big name places that I play, I would feel guilty. And as soon as I made the call, like I would hang up and go, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You could have powered through it, So it's nice. It's nice not to have that guilt, right? And not to know that you're missing something.
Yeah, especially open mics. Jake Adams asked if open mics are better or worse than having COVID. I do think I think my mental health, even though I was on the brink of death, is still better than if I was doing open mic.
Did you hear that Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank is sending people to people's houses to do comedy? Is that true?
I saw that they were doing open mics on Zoom. Like a bunch of people were hanging out.
I'd like to be part of that just to watch that. I wouldn't.
Just to heckle.
But once you get the all clear, you think maybe you could just go to people's houses. I think Flappers is doing that. I don't know how they're doing it. Maybe they have to stay a certain amount of feet away or something.
Is that true? Or you're not?
My producer, Steve, Steve
No.
Fine Arts is saying that. No, you've never heard of him.
No idea.
Let's see. We're going to take one more question. Would you recommend, Ahmed, investing in a hazmat suit or a personal bubble? I don't know. Someone's being funny, and you don't have to answer that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because, first of all, you're not feeling well.
Yeah,
you're not feeling funny. I'd punch it up.
Yeah, I'd punch it up. Come back later with that.
Yeah, so you got really sick. We're wrapping up now, but you got really sick. And were you ever, you FaceTime your mom, so you must have felt a little scared and shit.
I was scared, yeah, but the doctors were telling me it wasn't COVID, so that's the other thing it's kind of crazy. I would have, probably if they weren't telling me that, I would have contacted everyone I had hung out with, like before I got sick. But because they were like, it's not COVID, I didn't. And then when I got tested positive, it was a whole thing where I had to basically let everyone I knew. Luckily, I'd been quarantined for like 3 weeks, but I had to call everyone and be like, hey, I was hanging out with you and I probably had this. And here's where you get tested and blah, blah, blah. So, but yeah. I've been microdosing on mushrooms.
Have you really?
Kind of help. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's been like after I got
better, to kind of help. Oh, when you got better?
Yeah.
No, because I always wonder, like weed, like everybody's smoking a lot of weed now, especially in LA, right? And I think that lowers the immune system. Am I right?
It's probably bad for your lungs. It probably makes
I mean, people. Maybe right if they do edibles, but I just think when your body, when you get high, I just think it like weakens the immune system. I think it does.
I don't think it's good for you necessarily.
But you've been microdosing mushrooms. What has that done for you?
Well, it's serious? Yeah. You're supposed to not really notice it because, it's supposed to be like such a small amount that it just like affects you subconsciously and makes you happier. But the day that I got my test results back, I put my little dose in my coffee in the morning. And for some reason, because my brain loves caffeine, I think. So my brain was just like taking all the caffeine in, and probably the psilocybin was like, all right, we're going in too. And I just started like tripping in my apartment by myself, but not meaning to get that high. And it was like, it wasn't fun because I was like, I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I'm just like walking around and calling people.
Right. Well, what I would have done, I have the Echo Dot, and I would have been like, Alexa, play me a mashup of Mozart and Run DMC. I am such an old guy. I couldn't even think of a rapper.
Mozart was your reference for music.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey man, Ahmed, I'm so glad you are feeling better. If you want, you could check out Ahmed Weinberg at Ahmed Weinberg on Twitter and Instagram, right?
Right? Yep. Yep, the handles are.
I'm so glad you're feeling better because you're one of the good guys, you know. And I'm thinking of a couple of comics that I want to get this, but I won't say. One final question. One final. And I'm talking about Todd Glass, but one final question. Do you think this will change the culture a little bit? Like people, because comedy clubs are so, everybody's squeezed in. You think we'll be like hugging all the time the way performers do? Or do you think people are going to be freaked about this for a while?
Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable just like hugging people once we get
You
out.
gave this to a lot of people. Is that correct? You gave this to a lot of people?
Oh, yeah. Probably thousands. If you look at the diet.
Well, you're a giver. All right, man. Thanks, Ahmed.
Thank you, Eddie.
Be well. I'll talk to you. Love you, buddy. See ya.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. That was Ahmed Weinberg. What a scumbag for giving everybody that virus. All right. So tomorrow we have a big wig on. We have Jeff Garlin, one of the co-creators of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So that should be a good one. Jeff is funny as hell. And what else? If you want to donate to this podcast, I have a Ko-Fi account that's listed in the Instagram bio, and Venmo at Edward Pepitone. So everybody stay safe out there and be well. And we'll see you tomorrow. Spread the word about the podcast. All right, 4:00 every day, LA time. Bye.